This is the Mage and Sages Gaming with the Old Mage with a few of the celebrities from the original TSR and Wizards of the Coast. And of course, the fans who won the contest to be able to play with Ed. And I'll just have everybody introduce themselves. I'll start off with me. I'm Jeff Thetford. I'm the one who created the podcast with Curry Russell down below me or beside me, wherever he is on your screen. And we created this thing in honor of Ed to make sure that he doesn't fall into anonymity as he ages and gets old and forgets he lives in Canada.
A little more upbeat, Jeff. Come on.
A little more upbeat. So let me get the funeral music playing. Wait a second.
Oh, can we take this is two, please? This is too morbid.
So this is our gaming with the Old Mage, and this year we're featuring the haunted halls of Eveningstar. And whoever wants to be next, please go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'll go next. My name is Eric Boyd. I got the privilege of writing a couple things for Wizards way back in the day.
A couple.
And I really like the Forgotten Realms.
And which character are you playing, Eric?
Oh, I'm sorry. I am playing Mascar. Not the Mascar everybody knows, Mascar Wands. I think it's Mascar Staves, not sure.
He's just much bigger.
Mascar Wands, no relation.
This is a pretend character because he has a good singing voice. But I am the jaunty, defiant mage who is happy to cast spells as danger presents. He is slim, studious, also fantasy. Black hair, also fantasy. Piercing blue eyes. I got that one right.
Yeah.
And an often seen sinister smile. That's really only when I can steal something from George's character. Oh, and I am not left-handed.
Oh, here's Adam. There is some people coming in. We got more people coming in here. There we go. And
Tom, you're next.
I forgot to say I'm playing Zond.
Zond.
I've lost him all of a sudden. I'm playing Zond. Here he is. Zond. I'm a wizard, human wizard, which I would never play. This time I am. He is. He looks rather bland and unassuming, so I'm guessing he's going to be sitting in the back of the group.
All right, and I'm Tom Costa. Like Eric, I had a chance to write a few things for Wizards back in the day, but not nearly as many as Eric, and occasionally help Eric out with a few things. And I am playing Bralagar, a brawling, hardy adventurer who hides his fears behind jokes and wild antics, a servant of Lord Tempest, the Lord of Battles. And I like nothing more than saying, "We come in peace, strike to kill!"
So you're playing black. Black. You're playing Flack.
Oh, Flack. Yeah. So that's a similar character, yes.
Oh yeah, they have no idea what joke you're telling there, Jeff.
Yeah,
that's okay.
My character in another game with many of these folks is a dwarven berserker. Similar attitude.
Yeah. Kill him first, ask questions later.
Everybody say hi to Adam.
Hey, Adam.
Hello, Adam. Hi, friends.
Since you're on the spot,
there he is.
Introduce yourself and playing.
Yeah, so I'm Adam from Michigan, and I was one of the non-legends that's here, but and I'm playing. Is it a good state? Yeah. Wait. Yeah.
I live in Michigan, so
right. Yeah, I'm in Grand Rapids.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
And I'm playing Delthrar. You're sorry.
Yeah, don't roast Wolverine. They taste terrible.
Noted. Yeah, so Delthrar the Ranger, worshiper of Maliki, and good-natured guy.
All right, fantastic. Curry.
Oh, hey, you kind of already halfway introduced me, so it's me, Curry, co-host of the show. Today, I am picking up the fighter for the group. One of them, Chandlara Flamestar. She's a chaotic good fighter. She also worships Tempest. I don't know if I'm supposed to start speaking with a Scottish brogue now and acting like a drunken fool. because that's normally what the fighters in the group do.
It's okay. You can sound Scottish all you want, lad.
No, please, no.
No, I wasn't going to. But no, I'm looking forward to it. I'm glad you guys all made it, and thank you guys for coming.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
All right, Chris and his lovely wife.
I am Chris Williams, and I am a very small time author, and I run a YouTube channel called Normal Guy Games. I'm one of the winners, and I will be playing Thorm Dunshield, a wandering mercenary warrior who loves a good fight.
Cool.
All right. I'm Christine. I'm playing Simbra. And she seems pretty cool. I mean, she's done a lot for 18 years old, where she got people coming after her, and
Impressive resume.
to disguise herself. But
Simbra.
Rogue.
no, I'm a thief.
Yeah, thief. Yeah.
I'm a
I
thief.
know
So
all those
Procurer, please.
yeah, procure.
Expert treasure hunter.
I like to pick pockets. Yes.
Better watch your loose change.
Is that
Yeah.
what we're calling it
Right.
these days?
All right, Mike.
Mike Beaton. I am another one of the lucky winners. I'm also from Canada, Nova Scotia, and I am playing Ildrim Thalm. He is a rogue, slim and black-haired with the beginnings of a mustache, large and very black eyes, and very smooth movements. And I guess you're going to find out what he's like.
All right.
All right.
Perfect.
Cool.
And then we'll find out who George is playing when he wakes up and gets his Vegemite.
It's in the
sandwich.
chat somewhere. I think he picked I can't remember what he picked. All of a sudden, I'm lost.
Maybe we can find his character tied up somewhere.
Hey, that's a good idea. I like that. George, we're dragging you in a sack.
So will the rest of the party be NPCs played by Ed, or are they not going to be with us?
Well, no, those are just people so we can have them for people to choose from. Those are just going to be all NPCs
Out
will
of
be
the
whoever Ed picks for the game
Gotcha.
that are in the module Haunted Halls of Eveningstar.
Which thankfully I have not read. So
Thank
I'm going
God.
into this
Ah,
blind.
it would avail you not.
That's right. It will help you not, my young man.
Yes,
Okay.
quite. Okay,
All right, Ed, it is up to you to start this Megillah.
right.
And
Are you all sitting comfortably?
we are.
Double booking sorted out. Any questions on your characters before we shove off? I mean, begin. Nope. Right.
No.
Okay. So, you are the Baron's Blades. You are the pet hired adventurers of the Baron of Hawkhill in northeasternmost Om. And you have all saved each other's asses many times. It would be totally out of character for you to backstab each other or anything like that. And I'm going to say, as much as possible, artificial dungeon master rule, please do not split up the party. It will hasten your doom.
Nothing
Okay.
bad's ever happened when you do that.
No, not at all. Okay, so it is early autumn in the year of 3 streams blooded, 1384 DR. So, pre-spell plague.
Mm-hmm.
King Azun V is newly crowned, and in Cormyr, all the nobles of that realm are in uproar over his announced reforms. You know, that would actually give the common folk rights.
Mm.
You know, but that's not your affair. You are from Hawkhill, and the Baron of Hawkhill, Lord Eldonor Arendon, has sent you to Sazale on the annual wool caravan escort duty. Your job is to keep safe the wagons of wool from the Baron's sheep to the buyer's warehouse. And then you traditionally have a furlough. You have a 10-day off in the city of Sazale before you have to guard the wagons, which will then be full of the Baron's many odd purchases, from quince jam to new sword sharpening devices. to see him through the winter on their return journey to Hawk Hill, which is near the Snakewood in northeastern Om. However, this year, when you rumble through the gates of Suzail, you encounter a serious wrinkle. There's a lady familiar to you, the Baron's factor. A factor is a trade agent. Just as in our real world, the word factory comes from factor, which used to be a person, not a building that produced something. So, the Baron's factor or trade agent in Suzail is Halahavra Ironmantle. She's middle-aged, she's shrewd, and she looks like a toad. Okay, but she's really good at her job. She's one of those no-nonsense wrinkled granny sorts that just calmly takes care of the world, knows where everything is, knows margins, can smell out at a moment when somebody's not telling her the truth or trying to shave at something in a business deal. So, you trust her absolutely. The Baron trusts her absolutely, and she handles all of the Baron's business matters in Suzail. And this time when she greets you, instead of the usual smiles, she's wearing a rather grim face. And it's because, as she tells you, there you are, just in time. I'm afraid we have a problem. The buyers of the Baron's wool, it's a halfling firm, Green Hills and Kin. They can't pay him for the wool. The entire contents of their trading vault, 10,000 50 gold piece trading bars and 19 sacks, I'm given to understand there's 500 gold pieces each in those sacks, were stolen by, well, we think doppelgangers, shapeshifters anyway, posing as, the usual hired mercenary guards who are off-duty purple dragons. This was a day back, and when it was discovered, there was a wild chase. And there were skirmishes at Weymouth and Eveningstar. And from those skirmishes, we have the corpses of two what we think are doppelgangers. But the survivors fled into the haunted halls with the Green Hills wealth. So, the Baron far spoke me to pass on his orders to you. You are to do what the war wizards refused to do. Go into the halls, recover the wealth, and return it to the Green Hills in full. Your promised bonus payments from your Baron and time off to you all, if you do this. So, there it is. I'm afraid I can't give you your customary drink and big meal and local ladies' pleasure. It's work for you. So, Eveningstar is that way. And she points at a road leaving Suzail by the northeastern gate.
How long have we been traveling? Are we exhausted right now? Or are we ready to go?
Oh, you're ready to go because the trip took about 8 days because you're trying not to wear out the oxen. So what you've mainly been is totally bored. Because when you're on horseback, you circle around, you lounge, you sleep, you play cards, and the oxen are still plodding along. You could have horse races and come back and join them again, and they're still plodding along. And so, of course, what has happened is you spend a lot of time making camp, and you actually camped just past the Bridge of Fallen Men. So you've had an easy 3 hours to get into Suzail. So yeah, you've got most of the day to travel if you want. It's a question of whether you want to travel after dark.
Do I know how far it'll be if we push it, Ed?
Oh, you could probably leaving the oxen behind and leaving the wagons behind, which you're going to anyway,
Right.
and just going on in your horses. If you ride your horses to exhaustion and then get off them, And Camp, you would be an Eveningstar. Just an Eveningstar.
We should go quick.
Aye, but before we go, I have something to say.
Yeah.
Lady Ironmantle, do you have the corpses? The power of Tempest flows through me, and I wish to ask them questions.
The war wizards have the corpses over there. And she points at a guard post building that has... It looks like a barber's pole out front, except the barber's pole is dark blue, not striped and not moving.
About how many are we talking about? How many possible changelings were behind this?
Reports are as many as 8 or even more. 2 are dead, so 6 perhaps more.
I like those odds. We won't let you down.
Oh, well, thank you. No man has made such an offer to me in below these 30 years.
A woman as handsome as yourself, that's hard to believe.
Oh,
most definitely.
You flatter me. Oh, la, sir.
Rein yourself in there, buddy.
Yeah, let's go.
Sometimes you got to take some as you get some, I guess.
Oh dear.
So let's. Why don't we go up to the
out
war
of the
wizards
gate yet,
and see if we can speak with the dead with one of these bodies.
Okay, so as you
might be more senior.
As you head for the outpost, Madame Ironmantle scuttles back into her office and comes running out, hopefully with reins in her hands. But you're already at the outpost. And so she sighs and then walks back into her office again. And you reach the outpost, and there's a purple dragon in full coat of plate armor standing in the doorway with his arms crossed, and doing his best impression of a 6'6" statue. And he just stares straight ahead.
We have one person who is particularly charismatic who wants to take the point, or
they kind of like chased me out of Cormier, so I'm not really a fan of purple dragons. It should be me.
I ain't afeard of no purple dragon. Hey, we need to get in there.
And why would you want to get in here?
What was the name of your character again? The cleric?
I am Bralagar of Tempest.
Bralagar wants to do one of them little magic things. I ain't too sure about what it is, but
In Cormier, the war wizards handle magic. You do not appear to have any war wizards among you.
Can we talk with one of the war wizards, please?
Certainly.
We are here as agents of Baron of Hawkhill. And they stole money and are responsible for things involving my lord.
Oh dear. And he steps sideways like he's on rails, just sideways. And behind him is a gorgeous looking woman. She's seated on a stool, and she has her gown hiked up to her waist and is adjusting her garters. And she looks up and says, Oh, sorry. Yes, can I help you?
I wish to talk with one of the bodies, using the power of Tempest that flows through me.
Oh, yes, of course. And she gets up from the stool and adjusts her robes and then beckons with one finger for you to accompany her and walks deeper into the guard post.
As we're going, I will let you all know. I believe the power of Tempest will allow me to ask 2 questions.
Just 2?
Just 2.
And we better make
What yes
I
is
saw
that?
the movie. It's 5.
What is your quest? What is your favorite color?
I
That's where
believe,
my mind went.
in
initially.
looking back at the book, I am of a level and power within faith that will allow me to ask 2 questions.
Only ask one and leave him hanging.
That's right.
Well, I ain't exactly the brightest writing utensil in the picnic basket, but we probably should plan what questions we're going to ask first. Then
Aye.
George is messaging.
Jeff, you
Yes.
need to
Oh, he
email
needs
him
the
the
link.
Zoom link.
VM. Oh, he needs it by email. Okay.
While we're waiting for George, the question brought up earlier about who's the most charismatic in the party. I'd actually like to know that. My charisma stat is
I'm 14. So is mine.
14,
16?
16.
I'm
16.
I'm
All right.
15.
And actually, good mage. I was a young apprentice to Namthur Ulimir, and so I could. I would love to get a look. I'd love to talk to some of the war wizards here.
Well, I'm one of them, she says.
Hi.
Oh,
Nice fishnets.
Thank you.
Ooh, it's a lady.
I took the fish out of them specially for you.
Yeah.
no
So many
disrespect
openings.
meant, but why will you war wizards not venture into the haunted halls of Eveningstar?
That is above my rank level to answer.
Um,
Get off with your last. Get us somebody we can talk to.
no. Let's not be rude.
She gives you a look that sort of says, "Yeah, right, drop dead." You know, but she doesn't say any of that. She's busy leading a certain cleric of Tempest deeper into the room. There's a sort of desk, reception desk, with 3 guys in plate armor, but with their helms off. One of them seated behind it, and 2 of them picking their fingernails with daggers on either side of it in the sort of, I'm just lounging here for, effect look. And
Hey, George.
they all,
George.
hi!
Hey, George.
Hi, guys.
And George is playing what?
Rella.
Brella Ilfrost.
Brella.
Excellent. Okay, excellent. Okay, so we proceed deeper past this desk. They all nod to the war wizard, and then they all just drill their eyes at the cleric following her. It's like, and who the heck would this be, sort of thing. But they don't say a word. And this war wizard conveys you along a corridor, and 2 doors down, then pulls open the door, and this is a stone-lined room that is particularly cold. And lying on the stone slabs are 2 things. They are humanoid, they are very dead, and they look sort of like humans, but their hands and their heads have stretched into what looks like somebody took the head off a cockerel and blew it up to human size and stuck it on them. And their fingers are sort of like webbed, like they were shifting shape when they died. And she says, there you are. And she stands back out to the doorway and crosses her arms.
Is it just Bralagar that's there, or did everybody follow?
Did anybody follow?
I would have followed.
I would
I
have followed.
followed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Somebody
Okay.
told us not to split the party in war wizards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay.
Cormier or not, we're not splitting the party.
So now there's a procession of people in this corridor, and those 2 guys who were cleaning their fingernails with the dagger, they've stuck their daggers away again, and they're now bringing up the rear of your line of people. They've just stepped into it and joined the happy dancing throng.
Ildrim will stand out in the hall.
All right. So what should we be asking this corpse, lads?
Well, hang on. Has anybody even searched them yet? Like, what kind of things they have on them persons?
I would assume the purple dragons would have, or the war wizards.
Yes, we
Never like to assume.
we have searched them. Their belongings are over there on that shelf.
I like to have a look if nobody minds.
Go right ahead. There's two webbing belts. On the webbing belts are little drawstring leather purses, with the held together with the leather thongs, and tiny little sheaths with knives on them, belt knives, the sort that everybody carries for eating. The purses look like tiny bags with. So if you ever had a bag of marbles when you were a kid, it's like that. Only if the bag only had about 12 marbles in it, not very flush. And that's
Are they empty or?
Oh no, they have coins in them.
Okay.
Are the coins local?
The coins are local, Sembian and Cormyrian minting, and they look normal, and you're looking at like a handful of copper pieces, 1 or 2 silver.
I'm watching our thief companion to make sure she's not taking any of these coins and getting us in trouble.
I'll hold them for the party. If
Don't you trust me?
You know what?
With us, yes, but
I'll hold them for the party. You can trust me.
Hey, I don't need small coinage, so I'm good.
they gave us permission to look, not to take.
The war wizard puts.
And I looked.
The war wizard puts a hand on Zon's shoulder, a friendly hand.
Yes. Can I help you, sir? Ma'am?
You've got to learn to tell the difference, she said.
Can I do something for you?
Maybe later. In the meantime, put the coins back on the shelf.
I shall do that, yes. I will not try sleight of hand or anything. I'll put them back.
Cormyr thanks you.
I look embarrassed.
And we thank Cormyr.
So, as we all get around and pray to Tempest, I will require the help of all of you in this. All of you must call to the Foehammer and call on him for assistance.
Wait,
in order for the spell to work.
I don't think we determined what we was going to ask him first, though.
Aye, before we ask them, we need to figure that out. What 2 questions should we ask these dead doppelgangers?
Would it be important who they's working for?
That's an excellent question. I feel like Tempest would help us with that. What else should we ask?
What kind of resistance should we expect in Eveningstar?
Okay.
Maybe.
What is the airspeed of an unladen?
I was gonna do it.
Oh,
You beat me.
How about what's their purpose of being there?
We were all thinking it.
All right. So who they're working for, what resistance, and why are they there? We need to choose 2. I think who they're
That's
working for.
3 questions.
Right.
That's why we have
The
to
first question should be, can we have an extra question?
Can we check their belongings to see if there's any kind of insignia that would tell us who they're working for? Maybe if they have some kind of rings or,
I just looked at all that. I didn't see anything. It's just coin.
Okay.
Pralagar, are you using Speak with Dead?
Yes. Yes, the power of Tempest will allow me to do that.
I once supped with a priest of Taluna, and they said that you get 5 questions.
Oh, did they?
You must have been very good.
Perhaps if all of you show the proper faith in Tempest, our Lord of Battle, he will grant me more questions. But in the meantime, we must stick with 2 and only 2.
You keep mispronouncing Maestra.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
all right.
dear.
Do we have to do anything special for Tempest? Do we have to
we all must praise Tempest. You all must say something great about the Foehammer and pray for his assistance in the upcoming battles in Eveningstar. I shall ask who these creatures were working for and what resistance we may expect to find there. Does that sound all right with everyone?
Does.
Sounds good to me.
All right. All right, so I will I'll make you all join hands and praise Tempest.
I am not holding his hand again.
Why not?
Because
I'll wipe it off. It ain't that sweaty. Damn.
No.
And I'll call out to
She's just jealous of how pretty I am.
Oh, totally.
I'll call out to Tempest and cast Speak with Dead. And I'll pick one of the corpses if they seem like they're indistinguishable, but if one looks more, I don't know, authoritative or something, I'll go with that one. Had nicer clothes or something. And I will call to the corpse and say, by the power of Tempest the Foehammer, who were you working for when you attacked?
Working for Hammercast Volfrin, but really working for the Eye Tyrant.
Oh.
Ooh.
Who?
I tire.
We all hear that, right?
Beholder.
Beholder, yeah.
Or does only Bralagar hear that?
The Eye Tyrant? I
There
thought
can
I heard
only be
the Eye Tyrant.
And what resistance will we face in Eveningstar when we attack your foe, your allies?
Well, Night Hands. The wars with the wizard behind them. Many traps, many traps. Beware. We work for the wizard, but we really work for Zorogalanska.
Do I feel like maybe there's power to ask an additional question, or has the waning faith of my companions in Tempest limited me to only two?
My favorite color is blood red.
Wow. Are you seriously asking a corpse that question? There goes question 3. What's your intelligence there, Bralagar?
I'm partial to black lace.
Do we recognize any of these names, Ed? I was having a hard time hearing some of them. So
No, you've never heard these names before.
Okay.
Can you say the names one more time for us?
Sure. And
I'm writing this down.
To put it in how shall I say this? The beholder's name seems to be Zorogalanthkar. Zorogalanthkar. The group name was the Night Hands.
Night Hand?
Night Hands, plural.
Yeah, it's okay.
And the wizard,
It's Hammercast.
Amarcast Volfrin. Amarcast Volfrin.
Oh, Hammercast.
Yeah. But the doppelganger stumbles over that first name, meaning the doppelganger is not sure that he's got that name right because he heard it only once and thereafter.
The beholder's name?
The wizard.
The wizard.
Oh, the wizard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they've just been calling him by his last name. So, and he might have got it wrong. He's not sure.
I will turn back to the war wizard. And lady, do any of these names mean anything to you?
The Night Hands is a phrase we have heard before. So far as we know, it has something to do with the Zentarim, or the Zentarim, if you prefer. But a renegade group, a splinter group, a commando group, we don't know.
A war wizard admitting not to knowing something. That's
Hey, none of that. She's like giving you the, yeah, right. We are human, underneath. And she sort of strikes one of those hands on hip poses,
Of course. Well, shall we be off then?
You might want to be wary if this story of an eye tyrant is true. You should alert your companions and compatriots.
Why do you think we're not going into the haunted halls? She says to the ceiling and strolls away. Leaving you facing all of these impassive purple dragons in their full armor. And they sort of raise their eyebrows at you. Is it time to go?
Yes,
please.
Come along, lads. You may join us. Bring your yellow shirts. All right.
And your brown pants.
Very, very funny, says one of them. Ha, ha, and ha. You will be expected, says another, and points at the road. And as I recall, he says, Eveningstar is that way.
We have time to maybe pick up some extra potions or anything like that? Or do we just have what's on our character sheets?
I'm not sure we're adjacent to any place that we would have access to any.
Okay.
Do you want to ask anyone? You are in northeasternmost Suzail, inside the city walls.
Oh, we are inside the city. I thought we were still out on the road, and this was just some place that we encountered them on the road. I apologize.
No. You had to go to a warehouse, and the factor's office, in Suzail, and she directed you sort of diagonally across the street and closer to the gate by about half a block to this local. It looks like a local lockup, the where the local purple dragons patrol out of, and you're about 2 blocks from the northeasternmost city gate.
Okay, I was mistaken. I would say this would be a great opportunity.
I ask her, the war wizard, since you're having us do the dirty work you're unwilling to do, could you at least point us to provisions that could aid us?
Food, drink, magic. What?
Magic would be good. Potions would be good. Healing.
Well, potions of healing. That we can indeed provide. I'm afraid.
Perhaps a wander 3?
No, that's where you step over the line. Rings and wands are for war wizards.
We appreciate any aid you give us.
Is there an out of character, Ed? This may be a wrong edition question, so apologies if it is. Is there by chance a scroll you might loan us? Well, I wouldn't return it, but I have heard there are certain spells that will deflect rays.
Deflect rays.
Out of character, that there's a 3rd edition spell for that. I'm not sure there's a 1st edition spell.
This is above my level of training, she says.
Never mind then.
but I can certainly give you, and she turns and says, "A moment, please. Wait right here." And she ducks back into the thing, and she goes along another side corridor where the reception desk. She goes the other way, the other corridor from the one that led to the bodies, and she comes back with a small satchel, and out of the satchel She hands you a scroll. That's Eric's character. Is the you. Light spell.
Oh, thank you so much.
A floating disc.
Wow.
And then she says, and she starts pulling out stainless steel vials. They're all unlabeled. They're cork stoppered, and the cork stoppers have wax seals. And she hands one to all of you. One to each of you. A potion of healing.
Thank you, my lady.
Standard issue.
Much appreciated.
No need to return any of these. No need to account for them. This is just general operational. And if you feel a pressing lack of something, speak to the Lady Lord when you reach Eveningstar. And she said, and the best of luck. May Timora smile upon you. And Tempest, too, she says, looking pointedly at Tom's character.
Eric, I don't know if it's just my view, but you're kind of doing a Neighbor Wilson impression.
The forehead of Eric Lloyd.
Kilroy. Kilroy was here.
There we go.
Better.
There we go.
Yes.
Sorry, slumping in my chair.
No better ever.
I'm used to looking up, like, at least looking up your nostrils during the game.
Yeah, well.
What's the name of your character, George?
Rella.
When Rella's not
Gil
being
Frost.
I cast Mage Hand to start stealing things. No.
Oh dear, it begins. Okay, are you going to make tracks out of town?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we should get going.
I think that's a good idea. We should get home before night happens.
Okay.
I'm very eager to leave.
Okay, so we are looking at sort of noonish at high sun at the moment, and the road is open before you. There are people on horseback and people walking on it. There are
Are we
very
on
few
horseback?
wagons. Yes, you are.
Okay.
Yes, you are on horseback. Your horses are fairly well rested, because it's fairly early in the day, and they've done a lot of standing around, waiting for you guys to go into the outpost and come out of the outpost. So you're making fairly good time. Heading north.
All right. So what's the plan before we get there? I mean, we're just not walking down Main Street, are we?
If you have ideas, lady, share them.
Mm.
Tempest will guide us into victory through any battle, I'm sure.
I mean, I'm good for just walking in and hitting somebody. That's kind of what I do.
The options are really we just either stake it out for days and see what comes in and out, or we just go in and see what we discover. Mm-hmm.
Well, staking out maybe for a night. Otherwise, I'm going to get bored.
I will require your skills to find the traps that the doppelgangers mentioned, though, of course.
That's
On
right.
it. On it.
So are you proceeding without incident north along the King's Roads through
We
the
are.
kingdom? Very good. I'm just going to roll something.
First roll of the day.
Just ignore the man behind the curtain rolling dice.
That's right.
A natural 20.
Oh. I hope that's good for us.
Sunshine
That would
and
definitely be good
rainbows
for us.
along the road. I love it.
I love starting with 20. Okay, so you ride hard. Night catches you halfway along the road, halfway along your journey to your destination. You've just moved beyond Weymouth and so on, and you encounter a purple dragon patrol on the road. And the purple dragons are also mounted. They have light cloaks around them, and they are carrying lanterns, and they look at you and said, "What's the hurry? Most people travel not after dark." And they hold the lanterns high. And they say, "Weapons, weapons, what is this?"
We are headed north to the haunted halls in hopes of recovering lost goods that were stolen from merchants.
Aye, our weapons are peace-stringed. And we
We're
were
the-
sent by the war wizards themselves.
Yes, we have permission to be here. We're the Baron's Blades.
I put on my sunglasses and I say, and we're on a mission for Tempest.
That's right.
And half a pack
128
of
miles.
cigarettes.
It's 128 miles to Eveningstar. That's right. It's night. And we're wearing sunglasses.
Okay,
not
there are
many
sunglasses
wizards.
in the realms. That's canon now.
There's not
I'm
many
gonna,
wizards that worship Tempest, but I like this one.
I'm going to take a look at their belts and just see if they have similar small marble bag coin purses like the doppelgangers.
No,
Mm.
they have
They don't?
larger uniform pouches. Without the yellow, it's sort of like Batman's utility belt.
Okay.
Okay, so they have a row of uniform size pouches,
Mm.
with wooden toggle fastenings to hold them shut, and they have 2 daggers, much longer than the belt knives, down one side, depending on what look like swivel mounts, as in if they have to sweep them back so that they don't stick themselves in the leg when they're riding and they have to
Right.
lean, they can. And they sort of look at you, looking at them, and look at you a little harder. And
I smile.
one of the people riding at the back seems to be wearing a lot less armor than the others. And a leather cap, like an old school football helmet.
Ooh.
Okay, rather than metal. And you see the presumably the head of the patrol, the guy who challenged you, looking at this person, and this person just gives him a nod. And he looks back and says, "So you're expected. Very well. Pass." And they stand aside. All of them move their mounts to one side to let you spur past.
I nod a thanks as we pass.
They nod back at you and go on their way, leaving you alone in the darkness.
That could have gone worse.
Yes, still can.
We're not there yet.
The night is young.
Well, how long are we going to ride for until we settle for camp?
If
How
we
much
keep
further
on-
do you
if
want
we-
to go?
If we keep pushing, I think we can get to Eveningstar tonight.
Yeah.
In time to have a beer at the
Right, and we're meeting the lady there that we were told to.
Lonesome Tankard.
Mm. All right.
Okay, so you're pressing on.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, the King's Forest is dark and deep. There are eerie calls, but they're far away from the road. There are rustlings closer to you as you pass. And in the distance, you see the glimmering of moving lanterns on the road ahead.
On the road or off the road?
On the road.
Mounted?
Frequently. With gladsome cries. No. Okay, no, it's another patrol of purple dragons. And
Okay.
yes, the lanterns are bobbing as they ride along. This patrol seems to be better equipped than the last one. They're not holding the lanterns in their hands. They have these weird little curved, upswept wooden frames going up from the backs of their saddles that end in hooks, and the lanterns are bobbing along at the ends of these hooks above their heads. So they can reach up and hood the lantern with one hand, and the rest of the time it just swings by itself off to one side.
As they get closer to us, Ed, I want to try to stare carefully to see if there's any distinctions between how they look and the last group looked.
Yeah. This group seemed to have far more leather about them and far less plate in their armor. And this group has 3 members who have light crossbows ready cocked at their saddle bows, sort of in their laps. No quarrels ready in the grooves, but they can drop a quarrel in and fire in mere instance. And the last group did not have any of that. And there's a guy in the foreground with a long lance. So he can spit you from 3 horses away. if he wishes to. If he and he's not lowering it. It's still pointed at the stars at the moment. And he says, "Halt!"
We comply.
You stop.
"And who are you who travel in such haste in the middle of the night?"
The Baron's Blades. We are on a quest.
To Eveningstar?
And
Yes.
beyond. Yes.
That's
Yes.
one. Yep.
You are expected. Pass.
Thank
And
you.
They all move their horses to the side and allow you to pass deeper into the forest. Deeper. And the mist is rising now around you because the air is becoming colder as night deepens around you. And in the distance, you see a faint glow of light. This light does not move.
Out in the forest or along the road?
Presumably along the road. The road curves a bit through the trees, but you get the feeling that the road is heading to where this light is.
A natural looking light or?
It might be the lonesome tankard up ahead.
It looks like a glowing light, as in not flickering with flames.
Magical
Or
light.
with yes. But
What is that?
and who are you asking? Simbrel.
Any of them.
I ain't quite sure.
I didn't expect you to know.
What's that
Does it
supposed
seem to be does it seem to be holding still or moving?
Seems to be holding still. Yes.
Okay.
All right. Who do we want to sacrifice first?
I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I like the way you put that.
I can scout.
Marriage. It's what brings us together. Okay. So
As long as you go.
Well, you're quieter than I am. Why don't you go?
No, you go.
I don't want to go.
You're the
Ildrim
one that
slips
likes
off his
touching
horse
things.
and pulls his cowl over his head and says he'll be back. And he just starts padding off towards.
Oh,
Does
yeah.
this count
the road.
as like a forest environment where I'm good at stealth as a ranger? If so, then I'd go with him.
Okay. Yep. You can go with him. Yeah.
Right.
And you would be. You feel at home here.
You're right.
Okay.
Do I get the
so-
sense that Adam's character feels more at home here than I do? Because if that's the case, I'll let him lead. Sorry.
Oh, I've been loving it. I haven't been like, I've been loving the sound of the beasts in the forest, the trees, everything. This is like I am at home. This is
And
I
we
know my
that,
goddess,
right?
my leaky. Yes, you guys
Okay,
would know me.
so
We've been
then-
adventuring for years, I believe. So
I'll graciously let him lead the way, but I'll be right behind him.
yeah,
Okay.
okay. I give you a nod and stealth ahead.
Chandlara will escort to the rear of that group.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think we should let him get too far without the rest of us. So we should kind of bring up the
Right.
rear kind of slowly.
Someone who is mindful of the Dungeon Master's thunderous voice from on high.
So is to the side of the road, is there like a low ditch, or is it
Yep.
immediately forest, or
No, it's a low ditch. They dig out the ditches annually, and then they fill up with dead leaves and stuff as autumn comes and so on. But they clean them out so that there's no hiding place. Yeah, there's a low ditch. The road has a crown.
Okay.
It is wide enough for 2 wagons to pass and somebody to stand with their arms outstretched between them.
okay.
Oh, okay,
Between the
bigger
two
than I
wagons.
thought.
And then the crown of the road gradually curves off into a shallow ditch both sides. But the trees, they don't think much of a road, so they overgrow it and they hang over it in an almost unbroken canopy in most places.
Sleepy
So there's
Hollow.
yeah, exactly. But obviously patrols go along with pole arms, so there's no branches that are going to bonk you on the forehead or sweep you off your saddle. They take care of those. But yeah, it is dark. There are fewer and fewer places now where you can see the night sky unbroken through the canopy of leaves.
I look back to make
Is there-
sure that my horse is still Can I just say I handed my reins off to one of the other characters? I don't want to leave my horse behind.
Your horses are very well trained.
Okay.
If you told it to come after you, it will be quietly
Okay.
padding after you.
Okay, yeah, we do that then.
Okay, yeah. The horses are following you. They're not making any noise except the occasional creak of leather.
I'm gonna try to like keep to the right stitch,
Mm-hmm.
just low and moving low and as silently as possible behind Adam. Sorry, I didn't.
Delthrar.
Delthrar.
Delthrar. Okay, thank you.
Ranger of Myliki.
So I'm going to keep behind Delthrar.
Okay, so
right.
Delthrar, you have now reached a place where the road makes one last curve, and then it comes down to a small bridge where it crosses over a stream. And on that bridge are, and it looks like a wooden arch bridge, stout enough to carry 2 wagons at the same time, with railings, and standing there with their arms crossed looking bored are some more purple dragons with night cloaks around them, and the light is coming from a hovering glowing globe above them, and it's a faint blue white light. It looks almost like a blue moonlight. Okay.
All right. I watch and study them to see if there's anything unusual about them, anything that seems off, and I also whisper a prayer to Myliki.
Okay, the only thing that seems unusual amongst about these people is that one of them is staring right into your eyes. One of them has spotted you.
Okay, I stand up and say, "Hail, well met. We're an adventuring party, unofficial business, going to Eveningstar."
Well met. Are you the Baron's Blades by any chance?
That's yes. And if you're still stealthy, and I kind of motion for you to like not be.
Oh no! I
Okay.
stand up beside you and I kind of lean in and whisper, "Yeah, that was a bit dramatic. Sorry about that."
Yeah.
This magical light, we didn't know if will-o-wisp. You never know.
Yes, you never know. Yes, you never
All
know.
right. Okay, I whistle for the rest of the gang to come.
We wouldn't have been far behind anyway.
Yeah.
Come out.
Watching
wherever
cautiously.
Okay, and these guys are like stretching. The guys on the bridge. It's like, oh, good, they're here. Okay. And one of them says, "You are expected. You will see a figure standing in the road beyond the bridge. Go to her."
Okay. Is this a really long bridge, like crossing over like a river, or?
No. It's an arch bridge that goes perhaps 60 feet.
Oh, okay.
So we're talking a small stream that has over time dug itself a small channel. But if you were driving in a modern car, the front of your car would go kadunk onto the bridge, and then the back wheels would go kadunk immediately, and you'd be past it. The bridge is that short. Okay.
Okay.
And sure enough, and when you cross over the bridge, there is a lone figure standing in the middle of the road with a cloak around her. And she has blonde hair. She is standing alone, and she's watching you come up to her.
Looking friendly, like she expects us.
Yes.
Yep.
I'll watch the edges of the forest on both sides, just as
I'm with you on that. Yeah.
Okay. As you cross the stream, the forest goes away with the banks of the stream. This side, it's individual trees, and all the land is cultivated. It's somebody's garden, or it's somebody's lawn, or it's somebody's field, ranch field. And Eveningstar is right in front of you.
Hey.
excellent.
Thank you, Jeff.
Does it seem pretty active, or does it kind of shut down for the? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. At this time of night, there are individual people walking around. There's a hubbub way in the distance where it looks like your road, another road. No, the horses aren't that flatulent.
Oh, it's George.
Uh,
Oh my god.
Nice.
La 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 la.